Yes, bro, I agree. Hey, Kamali, what are you doing, Dave? What's going on? And Justin, what's going on? BTH 169, whatever, Bulldog, Girly, Mr. whatever the fuck, I can't even say. You guys come up with some fucking names. Holy Christ. How you doing, Bulldog? JR13X, whatever. Frankie Ruzak, how you doing? Or whatever. I'm saying everybody's name wrong. It don't matter. Strength Addicts, Christian's here. All right, thank you. That's a pain in the ass. Anyway, Strength Addicts, what's up? What are you doing? Mad Fish or something? I don't know what the hell came up there. How you doing? Jay didn't play. What's going on, bro? Let's see here. How's your night? It's fucking same as all the other nights, Awesome RX interview with Boston and Big Lenny. Thank you, BTH 169. Resin RSINDONIE, whatever. However you say these fucking names. How you doing? Puerto Rican fitness chick. How you doing? Quesada, whatever the fuck it is. Where do you guys get these names, man? Oh. All right, so we're waiting. Kamali's going to join us in a couple minutes. I want to get to a few things, and we'll have a nice talk. Long day, excited about tonight's interview. I hear you. Holla. What's going on? Puerto Rican fitness girl. Sorry. Crystal Wildfire. Crystal, how you doing? What's going on? You know the story. One question. Good to see you here. How you doing? Her guard deck calculus. Do you talk to Snooki? No, I haven't talked to her. She's pissed off at me because of all the bullshit. I'm really good friends with her ex-boyfriend and everything, so I have not talked to Snooki. Yep, King Kamali's here. All right, King. Hey, King, how you doing, brother? I'm coming in. I'm tapping in here now. Wait, guys. And King Kamali is... The King is in the house. Any second, the King is in the house. Honestly, come say hello to Arnold. Okay, yeah, do that, Crystal. The King is in the house. What's up, brother? Holy shit, man. How long has it been since... I actually saw you... I think my niece competed at a show in this is the one I saw you at. I think it's the last time I saw you. Was that the one? Remember the one at the county center? Yeah. In White Plains? Row making fun of everybody, and I was laughing my ass off listening to you. You know what I was doing? Do you remember that? Every time Juan Morel... Yeah, it was Juan Morel. You were giving him shit the whole time. I was giving him fart noises. He would bend over and I go like this. And he'd look around. I don't think he knew who the fuck it was. Oh, that was classic, man. And we were having a little fun. So, King, are you still in New York? Yeah, I live in New York. I'm in Rockland County. Yeah, no, I thought that, right? Yeah, because I'm in Westchester. But I wasn't sure if you were still in New York. For some reason, I'm thinking you were down south somewhere again or something. You're not from New York? No, originally from the Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia area. Yeah, same. That's what I'm... And then from there, I came to New York when I got married, and then I stayed up here. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I knew that you were from the... I knew that you were from somewhere else. I thought you went back, but I thought you went back moving down there. Nah. After I got divorced, I have 2 kids, man. I cannot... You do? I have 2 kids. I have a son and a daughter, and I can't leave them, no matter what. So I stayed here. Do you have this son and daughter with the girl Barbara that I saw you with, or no? Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Oh, okay. And they're here, right? How old are they now? My son is 7. My daughter's 10. It's unbelievable, man. Seems like holy Christ, changing their freaking diapers just yesterday, and then now she's 10 and he's 7. Really? Yeah. You know why? Because I remember you getting married to her and everything, and I thought you had kids, but holy fuck it, you have a kid 10 years old already? It's been that long? My daughter's 10 years old, yeah. It's time flies, man. You know how you hear that shit all the time when you're young? You're like, you blink your eye and they're in high school. I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. But it's absolutely correct, man. You blink your eye and
it went from Rattlers and baby food to iPad Pros and give me an iPhone X. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's the same with me, man. Dude, I'm going to be 60 in 2 years. 60.
That doesn't mean anything, man. My parents are in their early 70s, and they're still going to Vegas and having a good time and all that stuff. Age is up here.
Yeah, but see, I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm stuck home. I'm a broke ass. You know what I mean? So I'm stuck over here. I got all these ticks sucking my fucking blood and shit over here, you know? So,
you're good.
You know the story. I don't go nowhere. I still drive a fucking Honda Elantra. My fucking window is taped up because it fucking broke. It come down. I didn't even get a fix
Yeah, but
yet.
let me tell you something, man. You've lived 10 lives. You've lived 10 lives. If people could even step 1 inch into the shoes that you've lived, it's unbelievable. I know what you've done. You've been there the block about 15 times.
Yeah, I hear you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I mean, you sit back and, I was going to talk a little bit about the Sound Factory. When we used to go to Sound Factory, Bob Bonham was 52. And I used to tell everybody when we were going, and that was like 2003. And I used to tell everybody, dude, he's 50 fucking 2. Do you believe that shit? Because back then I was younger. I was like 41, 42. Yeah, he's like 10 years older than me. So I was like 41, 42, something like that. And I thought, holy fuck, was he old? And now I'm fucking thinking, shit, I'm almost 60. You know what I mean? Like, I was mocking him,
Time flies. I just went to Robbie Lopez's 50th birthday. And when he walked the room, we surprised him. I was thinking back, I was like, how in God's green earth is Robbie Lopez 50? It just didn't make sense. I just kept staring at him. Is it possible that he's 50? And he is, man.
I can't believe it. I know Lopez a long time, too. And dude, that's a guy, he should have been a pro bodybuilder. He got fucking robbed.
Oh, listen, Robbie Lopez's problem was Robbie Lopez. He had the same exact issues as Victor Martinez. But Victor just was able to pass that hump. Victor likes to party. Well, used to like to party, right? Victor, everybody knows that. But Victor, at the same time, would leave the Sound Factory at 2 o'clock in the morning and go eat and come back. And you're like, Victor, what do you do? He goes, all right, bro, I eat, Robbie just didn't have, but you're right. Robbie should have been a long time ago. Long time ago.
Oh, man. I mean, who was it that he actually, who was the guy that he went up against and then it took like 2 pose downs or something and he finally gave it to the other guy, but they were literally tied. You know what I'm saying?
Johnny Jackson.
It was Johnny Jackson.
Robbie actually was winning after prejudging by 1 point. I made a phone call.
I remember that.
I made a phone call to someone that I knew, one of the powers that be, and he said, your boy's ahead, but it's very close. Make sure he doesn't fuck up overnight, because that was the first year that they decided to rejudge the next day. It wasn't prejudging in the morning, finals at night, and then you know who wins. It was Friday prejudging, Saturday finals, and then you find out. Well, I wasn't there. I was in Tennessee guest posing with Monica Brandt, and I was doing everything over the phone. Back then, no FaceTime. No, it's just phone. We had a phone. And I did everything I could. Unfortunately, Robbie, he just he was panicking and he didn't want to eat. He's like, no, I just want to maintain my condition. And I kept saying to him, Robbie, you got to eat. Please eat something. You have to maintain the fullness. If you don't maintain the fullness, Johnny is a tank. I said, you have to maintain your fullness. And unfortunately, he flattened out. Johnny came up, and then Johnny beat him by 1 point.
Really? I remember that. I fucking remember. I remember thinking, holy shit, fucking Robbie's got to, but he should have came back, though. He was right fucking there. That pro card was basically taken from, he had some fucking genetics, his lines. Wait, King, some fucking pussy, some fucking little lying pussy saying that you and I are rats, and then somebody who's saying that they're our daughter and shit. First of all, it ain't his daughter, she's 10 years old, and it ain't my fucking daughter. I know where my daughter is. My daughter wouldn't watch your shit. So fuck you. Nobody ratted on anybody, you pussy. Put your fucking real name here. You fucking pussy. I'll fuck your mother. Your mother ratted that I had my dick in her fucking ass.
Instagram. Yeah. All right.
You believe this shit? King, you believe this shit? These little pussy, you little fucking pussy. I'll fuck your mother in your ass. Get out of here. I don't like that shit. Fucking rat. I was fucking locked up in 2000. So you weren't even born then, you pussy. You fucking lying little fuck. And don't talk about King either. Come here with your fucking name. He's King Kamali. I'm Gregg Valentino. You fucking hiding, you pussy. Hey, Christian, get that fucking pussy off here. You too, this fucking cunt saying that you're somebody's daughter. You ain't my daughter, and he ain't his daughter. His fucking daughter's a kid. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I have no tolerance.
All I see is
for internet cowards. You fucking coward. You're a coward. Your mother raised a coward. How do you feel about that? You fuck. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, this is why I came on.
But dude, look at this person saying that you and I both snitched on their friend. Who the fuck? And the fuck is stupid. I was arrested in 2000, you fuck. Yeah, you rat pussy. Fuck your mother. Your mother fucking, I stuck it in your mother's ass, and she fucking loved it. Then I fucked your father in his ass, you fucking pussy. Get out of here.
Get off.
Sorry.
That's okay.
But they're talking about you. They're talking about both of us.
Well, that's okay. You know what it is a long time ago, my father told me that if they're talking about you, that means they're worried about you.
You're right. And he's worried about I'm going to do what I did to his fucking father, to his mother. You fucking. I just don't like that. Come here. But you know what's funny? You and I, you're King Kamali, I'm Gregg. You know, we're not hiding behind some facade, some fake name, Venom 123, and making accusations. You know what I'm saying? Right? Am I right or wrong?
Listen,
because they're saying you and I collaborated and ratted on one of their friends. Get the fuck out of here. I don't like that. Rats, I hate that because, I went to jail and shit, so I hate that shit. But anyway, I'm sorry, guys. We have a little fun here. King and I go way back. And I wanted to say something. Wait, it's true. I did fucking ask you to hook me up with that tranny, but I didn't know remember she was talking to you, then she went to the bar, then we asked me to do that tranny. I said, hook me up.
I'm going to clear it up. I'm going to clear the whole thing up. The Sound Factory was the Studio 54 of its time. Yes. What happened in that club stayed in that club, and I personally saw the most insane, crazy, hedonistic, Caligula shit in there and I have pictures, and I said this before in Artist Muscle, that has files of pictures that he had that he could ruin people's lives. But it was a time in our lives. We had a good time. And I'm reading the messages. People, Greg, why aren't you killing King? There's nothing to kill. You asked me to introduce you to...
No.
Yep, here it is. Bye. That's it.
You told me. You said to me, I said, you hook me up with that chick. You go, that's a trans. I don't give a fuck. I let her blow me. She didn't even talk to me anyway. She fucking walked away. Fucking shit. What guys don't fucking understand is that, like you said, Victor Martinez used to have to tell you, no, don't talk to that one. The fucking club, to get in, you had to go through Paris, that girl outside. And she was a fucking trans. Yeah. She used to pick, you get in, you stay out. You get in. And there were 10,000 people in a night in there. You didn't know half the girls in there. Nobody knew what the fuck. You know why, King? Because these people don't come from New York. They think of fucking Bruce Jenner or some shit like that. They don't realize. You know what I mean? But we had a good time.
It's impossible to tell which ones. And whatchamacallit was right. Lopez was correct when he said that look for the absolute hottest girl in there, and she's a tranny. The hottest girls in there were trannies, so you had to be very careful.
They're big tits and shit.
I had Victor Martinez. He was the tranny. He could fucking spot one a mile away, so he would point them all out. So thank God for Victor.
Because he knew, first of all, Victor knew everybody in that club. You know what I'm saying? He knew everybody. He was the king.
Yeah, Victor was definitely the king of New York back then. Yes, he was.
Do you remember, and Palumbo eats this up. I love Dave. Dave's one of my best friends, so I love him. But he said it because he was asking you if I was partying. But you remember what you bought me? You were the one who actually bought me the drink. Do you remember what it was?
Shit. No, man.
It was Coca. It was a Coca-Cola, but it was kind of flat. Remember, I was like, just serving like flat Coca. It was.
I don't remember that part, man.
You don't remember that? You did, yeah. We had a good time. Dude, the funniest fucking thing was, I went in the bathroom. You remember the girls and boys were going to the bathroom, right?
Correct.
I went in there, and I took a fucking dump, right? And Kelly Titus came in there, and I talked to her for a minute. She left. She was actually already in there, actually, when I was taking the dump. She was on the other side. But, she, nobody knew. I came out of the store. I was like, holy fuck, you smell that? And she's like, yeah, something died. So she leaves, and what's his name comes in? Victor, right? So I told Victor, I said, Victor, you smell that shit in here? He goes, oh, man. You know how he gets, right? And I told him that was Kelly. She just shit in the bathroom. And it wasn't Kelly, it was me.
Shit. You have the distinctive honor of being someone who took a dump at the factory. It's a short list, man, and you're on the list. So congratulations.
Oh, dude. Let me tell you, when I have to go, I have to go. So it doesn't matter. It don't matter if I have to fucking go to bed. It's a countdown. 10, 9, 8. Where's the fucking bed? If I don't fucking, by the time I hit 1, it's too late. You're
You're the Ron Jeremy of pooping, man. Count down and go.
Oh, Christ. That was a great time, though. I remember, you remember Dorian? I was telling Palumbo about the mesh shirt because I remember me and Bob, we were upstairs in the very upstairs.
Yeah,
and we saw Dorian like this.
Room. That's what I used to call it.
What you call
gangsters and like Asian gangsters on the top floor.
Oh yeah, they were all fucking nuts up there. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually people don't realize it. You come out of that fucking club. We get there at 5 in the fucking morning. You get out of there, it's noontime, and your fucking eyes, you can't even see because it's fucking.
You got the Intrepid is right there, so you got families walking to the Intrepid. You're coming out of that club, and people are like the little kids are looking at you and going, "Daddy, what's wrong with these people?" And you're like, "Oh my God, just get me to my car, man. It's embarrassing."
Yeah,
but you know what?
Shit.
I would never, ever, ever take back any of those days, man. We had the best time. It was the best time.
They don't even now today. It doesn't happen like that anymore. It's a different era, and all the bodybuilders would be all around. You know what I'm saying? It was fucking crazy.
The third floor. We owned the third floor.
Yup,
it was
right
square,
by that, right where the bar was, and to the right.
On that
I remember.
one side next to the bathroom, so we had access to the bathroom, and it was all pro bodybuilders, and the chicks. All the girls had 6-packs. They were all in shape. Yeah, man, it was a great time. Great.
That's right. That's why I thought that girl that was a trainee. I thought at first she was a fitness girl. They had bikini, they'd come up there with the fucking belly. Everybody had that tight belly and that fucking body. You know what I mean?
You said it very eloquently a couple minutes ago. When you talk about trannies nowadays, they think of Jenner. They think of Kylie. Yeah. They don't understand that these girls look like, Eva Longoria. They look gorgeous.
Right.
You just couldn't tell.
They don't understand that. I remember that girl, she reminded me like of an Ariana Grande. She had a cute face. She had some body on her. She had a little mini skirt. You don't fucking know. They think it's a dude. You know what I mean? It's who the fuck? Nobody here wants to fuck dudes except for that fucking rat fuck that just was calling me and you. He was saying that you and I ratted on somebody. Bring me who I ratted on, you motherfucker. I'm still friends with all the guys I got arrested that was in with me when I got arrested.
Ignore me.
But the sport has changed so much. There was a lot more camaraderie back then, I thought. What do you think? I mean,
it's a completely different game now. It's a completely different game. You used to go to amateur shows, and they would be 40 middleweights, and 35 to 40 light heavyweights. It was bodybuilding was king. And now you go backstage and all you see is board shorts. Now, and listen, I have nothing against those kids with the board shorts, but I don't want to see bikini. I don't want to see board shorts. Have them on Friday. To these promoters, bring them in on Friday, and then on Saturday bring the bodybuilders because it's a fucking headache. There's a fucking headache being back there. 99% of them don't know what the fuck they're doing. They just go on the internet and YouTube. And everybody and their mother thinks they're a coach, which is another.
You're right.
Everybody thinks they're a coach.
King, I agree with you. I like spaghetti and meatballs, right? And I like ice cream. But I don't want spaghetti and meatballs on top of my ice cream. Bikini to me belongs in a fucking beach, on a fucking boardwalk somewhere, or in some nightclub, with wet T-shirts. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I love those girls. They're hot. But when you're at a bodybuilding show, look what they did. They took fucking Arnold Classic and a lot of these big shows. They no longer have female bodybuilding. Right. You know what I mean? And they built that show on the backs of the Tanya Knights and all. And the reason why, even with the physique, is because they let bodybuilding get out of hand. You got guys now 300 and something pounds on stage. You know what I mean? When back in the day, when Leela Brada and guys like that, they only weighed in the 180s. You know what I mean? Leela Brada was like 189.
People can't see that anymore, man. This is the problem. That's what's happening. I mean, I've done interviews with MD. I've done interviews with RX. I've done all these things, and I said it over and over again. It's a completely different game. Now, here's the problem. If I start to bitch and whine and start saying stuff, which I've complained in the past, but everyone will say, oh, that's because you're finished and your era was the late 90s and early 2000s. Everybody thinks that their era was the best. Well, unfortunately, my era was the best, man. Anybody at the top 5 guys, Lavroni, Wheeler, Coleman, Dillette, Nasser, any one of them could be Mr. Olympia. Any one of them.
They would take Phil Heath. Yes.
You know, so
they would definitely.
It definitely was a different era.
Yes, definitely. But you got to admit, I mean, today you can't even get the little guys. You know what I'm saying? There's little guys, 5'1", 5'2". They can't even diet into it. It's having trouble in getting in 212. I mean, back in the day, I mean, that was, not a thing.
Greg, right now I have a little over, I would say 50, over 50. I got over 50 clients right now that I'm helping out. And almost everyone that I help get ready for shows comes in the best condition. They might not win, they might not place, but their genetics, I can't do nothing about genetics, but I can do something about conditioning. Because I don't know any other way. This is how I explain it. I don't know any other way other than suffering. That's the key word, suffering. You have to suffer. I remember I used to go to my shows, and I went to my first Arnold Classic, and I was backstage, and we had passes and stuff. And I remember that at the time, the guy who got me into bodybuilding, his name was James Bryant, rest in peace. James said to me, who do you think is going to win? And I'm like looking around I'm like, that guy's huge. And that guy's huge. And he goes, no, kid, no. He goes, find the guy who's got a hoodie on, his face is sucked in, and he's suffering in some corner, not talking to anybody. He goes, that's the guy that's going to win. You know, and that's the way I was taught. You got to fucking suffer. These kids don't want to suffer. No,
they don't. They don't, and you know what's funny? It's so true what you just said, because see, the Branch Warren wasn't gifted genetics. He's like the Rich Gaspari of the modern era, right? I mean, he wasn't born with gifted genetics, but he's placed second in the Olympia and has won the Arnold Classic for one reason, because Branch Warren never quits. No. He never stops. He will eat dirt. He will eat nothing. He will sit with a bowl of ice cubes and eat it if that's what he has to do to win the show. There's a lot of guys who have much better genetic potential than Branch Warren, yet he will beat them all the time.
And let me get a perfect example. A good one of my best friends in the sport, Mr. Chris Cormier. If Chris had the mentality of a Branch Warren, how many Mr. Olympias would he have won, man?
I'll give you one better. What about Victor?
Oh, Victor too, yeah. But see,
Victor to me has the best physique. It's amazing.
It is. But Victor has the distinction of, I will go to my grave and say in 2007, he should have been.
He was Mr. Olympia.
There's no question in my mind after prejudging a night show. I was like, there's no way they're not going to give it to him. It's not possible. And they still give it to Jay. But Victor, yes. But he's a different person now. I've seen the evolution of Victor. And I'm so happy that he's back on MHP right now. That he's back home. You know, that's how I see it. Victor's back home, MHP. And, he's still Victor. He's one of those guys like Haney, man. He looks at a dumbbell and he gains 5 pounds of muscle, man. That's genetics. Victor's got the genes, man.
That's what I was trying to say. He's a genetic freak. In my opinion, Victor has the best structure. I mean, his structure is amazing. And if he ever got in that 2007 condition, dude, you got to give, first of all, I give him all the credit in the world. I'll tell you why. Dude, his sister was murdered. He was locked up in jail. He was locked up in jail twice. Both times he'll come out and then fucking win a show. It seems like he could not touch a weight.
It seems like Victor's got a black cloud on him, but I think that's past now. I think Victor realizes that, he's Victor Martinez. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's doing his business thing now. Now he's promoting. I think Victor is slowly going to the next phase of his career in bodybuilding, which is good. Which is a good thing.
Listen, I didn't mean that. I wasn't trying to say he had a black cloud on him.
He's got a black cloud on him, man. He's got a.
But no matter how many times you knock that guy to the fucking ground, you cannot keep Victor Martinez down. He fucking goes from, he's sitting in jail for like 8 months or 9 months, get out, and then fucking win a show, but not touch a weight in jail. Not sitting there eating chicken and steak, no juice, you know what I mean? And comes out and fucking wins a show. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, Victor's crazy, you know? Crazy nice.
Yeah, it's so true. It really is. It is so true, and he should have definitely won that Olympia. I mean, I don't know how the fuck they gave it to
2000 was definitely Victor's. Definitely.
Who was your favorite bodybuilder growing up? Were you an Arnold guy, or like who was it?
Haney. I just admire everything about it. And Phil Hill, believe it or not, Phil Hill. I know you with that name, the Jersey guy with the legs. I remember Phil Hill. I had Phil Hill's pictures all over my locker, and I just couldn't believe a human being could get legs like that. And then, I was lucky enough to be in Northern Virginia. And listen, all these people, the so-called creative gurus and this and that, I was there at the beginning with the guy who invented all this shit, who was Amin Ali. This kid, he took everything that's happening right now, and he was the original guy that created the whole insulin craze, taught everybody how to do GH correctly, what's this, what's that. It was amazing. So I was lucky, blessed enough to have him around so he can teach me all those things. And he was also one of those guys that said, he would never say, let's go full blown, 5 grams of this and 2 grams of that. He would say, no, let's just touch and go and see how you respond. That was Amin's philosophy. Let's see how you respond to this, and then we'll take it to the next level. If you respond to 250 milligrams of test every other day, then we're sticking with that. Why do I need to go to 500 mgs? Why do I need? So that's the mentality that stuck with me. And to this day, I still, whenever somebody comes to me, they're like, a lot of guys from the Middle East now, they're like, what cycles are you guys used to take? I'm like, what cycle are you taking? And then he'll tell me, I'm like, I used to take half of what you take, man. Half. But they don't believe you. Nobody believes you. They think it's mega. Now, we'll stop there and we'll go to the Middle East again. The whole craze of Kuwait. Why is everybody going to Kuwait? Why, Greg? Why is everybody going to Kuwait? You tell me. Let me hear what you got to say.
I'll tell you right now, I think everybody's going to Kuwait because everything is laid out for these guys. Here's the food. You know what I mean? It's already, they have access to all types of food. They don't have to go home, cook themselves. They want you to take nap. No, take a nap. Take a nap during the day. Please take 2 naps if you can. And obviously the drugs, you know what I mean? Because the drugs out there there's no regulations. They're not sitting here buying, hey, I got test 400. King, is this shit real? I got test 600. And you and I both know they don't make such a fucking thing. You know what I mean?
I went to Iran 4 years ago. For the first time in 30-some years, I went there. And I'm telling you, my eyes opened up to a whole new world. You say Iran and people think of camels and terrorists and this and that. I've never seen more Bugattis. I've never seen more Porsches. I've never seen more Italian marble homes. I mean, obviously, I was with the 1%, and I was seeing everything. But I had never seen anything like that in my life. And then every night before we went back to my hotel, whoever I was with chaperoning me around, where do you want to go? Let's stop by at the pharmacy. He would go in. I would give him $10, 10 American dollars. He would go in, grab me some tests, grab me some bar, come back out straight from the pharmacy. No problem.
Wow. Amazing. Are you kidding me?
It's $10. That's it. And
holy Christ.
Over there. And of course, now listen. Yes, they go over there and they eat, sleep, and train. There's no women. There's no alcohol. Eat, sleep, train. That's fine. I mean, that's fine and dandy. De La Rosa went over there. How come he didn't explode? There's a bunch of guys that have gone over there. I'll tell you why. Because I've said this once, I've said it 1,000 times. In bodybuilding, the dumber you are, the faster you excel. The more you know, the more you understand what you're doing to yourself, the more you hinder yourself and you pull back. Believe me, if people got blood work done every 3 months, they would understand what they are doing to their bodies. Okay? How much damage they're doing to their bodies. But they won't do it. I do it. I get blood work done every 3 months. And if I see something wrong, I immediately try to fix it. I have friends that are very, very, very smart all throughout the country, throughout my career. And I called them up. How do I fix this? Boom. You need to take this, this, and this. How do I fix this? That's why I'm 45 years old and I'm still 280 pounds and I'm still healthy.
You're 280. You look fucking huge.
Here's the funny thing. I'm 280. I don't train as insane as I used to. I don't go crazy. As a matter of fact, I just had surgery 2 weeks ago. I didn't train for about a week and a half. I just got back into the gym, but I just do. This is years and years of community. I can't. Like my mom would say, "Oh, but drop 40 pounds. What is wrong with you? You no compete no more. Just drop 40 pounds. You'll be okay." I'm like, how? I don't understand how you want me to do it. I train. I do my cardio. I eat clean. This is who I am. It's the funniest thing to me. What do you want me to do? Drop 40.
Dude, that's funny. You just hit the nail on the head. Bodybuilders, that's how you know when you're doing something right. My mother used to tell me, I just bought the goddamn gallon of milk and the eggs and they're gone. I bought them yesterday. You know what I'm saying? That's when you know, when your mother starts complaining you're too big, it's like, take it down a little. That's when you're like, okay, I'm doing something right.
I haven't touched insulin. I can't touch insulin, by the way. If I touch insulin, since this is Gregg Valentino, since this is the no bullshit, we can tell everything that it is and we're all up front.
Say it, baby.
I can't take insulin. You know why? If I take insulin, the same thing that happened to Dallas is going to happen to me. Because the last time I took insulin, which was 6 years ago, I started to feel that same pressure in my heart. I started to breathe like this because I knew I had to get those fucking calories in. I had to get those carbs in. I can't do that shit, man. I can't do it anymore. I can't take stimulants anymore. I've completely took out caffeine from my diet. Why? When I take stimulants now, my heart starts to skip beats. So I went to a cardiologist. You know what he said to me? Because I was freaking out. He goes, "Do me a favor. Stop taking stimulants for a week and see what happens." I stopped. Everything went away. I can't. I did what I had to do to get to a certain point. I went all the way to the Mr. Olympia stage. I had a great time, but I will not sacrifice my life because I want to get back to that point again. I had my fun. Everything was out there. I'm in a new phase now. Now, I say these things and then my mom will turn around and say, "Why you 280? Come on, bring down to 240. I'm trying, Mom, I'm trying. If you're listening, I'm trying. I'm bringing.
That's funny. I used to get the same thing from my parents, always bitching about the food or if I'm getting too heavy. My mother didn't like that either. Didn't like me being jacked. But, you know, she's been dead a long time. But let me ask you a question, though. So now, all right. So how do you eat and everything now? Now, how does the new King Kamali eat? What do you do for energy? If you don't, I'm just asking because I want to, everybody here is probably like, holy shit, he doesn't take stimulants or, and how are you eating now to stay healthy? And by the way, Big Frank, I saw what you said. I'm willing to go to Iran too. I'll go because I like fucking chicks. Believe it or not, I love Iranian chicks. They're hot. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you, it's very simple, bro. It's very simple. First of all, my girlfriend's 25 years old. She's half my age. So she keeps me going. She keeps me on my toes and she keeps me young and all that stuff. But I order my food, man. Listen, I made the right investments. Everybody thinks that the stock market is a mystery. It's not. If you know the right people and you make the right investments, you're going to be okay. So I'm okay right now. I order my food to one of these RPM Nutrition. He comes to my house every Sunday, drops off my food. Grilled chicken, asparagus, lean beef, high protein pasta. I eat clean. And twice a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays, I go out and have some pizza, whatever I want. That's it. Very simple. It's not fucking.
But I mean, like, you
science,
feel,
for God's sakes.
That's right. I agree. I eat the same way. You know what I mean? I don't have the meals delivered, but and my girlfriend's young too. I'm 26 years older than her. But and I've been with her 11 years. I gotta get a younger one. She's Mexican. They age like dogs. But sorry. But anyway, what was I gonna say? I agree with you with that. Because you gotta eat hard, smart. And I don't believe in all these extreme diets. Nobody can do keto. Imagine for the rest of your life, I'm never gonna have a carb or whatever the fuck. That's not realistic. You know what I mean? I think it's good if you're a fat fuck to get rid of some weight.
Greg, I got a client. It all comes down to one word. And listen up. All you people out there listening, genetics. You can't get past genetics. I have a client in Oklahoma, Scotty Burnett. I call him the mayor of Oklahoma. This guy is the best, Scotty. If he doesn't eat pizza every 3 days, he will disappear. He has the fastest metabolism I have ever seen. I have him eating pizza all the way up. At the last time he competed, when we went all full blown, which was the Mr. Oklahoma, which he won the overall, I believe it was last year, he ate Wendy's the night before the show because he was just going too fast. He was leaning out and he was skidding. I could see him changing hour by hour. I'm like, Scotty, we gotta slow this down, bro. We gotta slow this down. Go to Wendy's, have a triple, have some fries or whatever. Genetics. Then I have people like my client, Queen Bee, Barbara. She is a competitor getting ready for the Mets. If she looks at a potato, she gains 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to understand, and I try to explain to these people, it's a genetic game. Not everybody's the same. You got to flip it around. Some people are this way, some people are that, but you cannot get past genetics. Look at fucking Dexter Jackson. I can't believe this. He is a genetic marvel, this guy. That he's and I know what he looks like right now. He's gonna fucking walk up there at the Arnold Classic. Hopefully he'll listen this time, and he won't come in flat. He was a bit flat for the
right.
If he comes in full, he's going to look like the best Dexter Jackson we've ever seen at the age of 50.
I know.
Man.
But you know what the difference between his 50 and, the other guys who are trying to come back at 50 is that he's never stopped. Right. And it's hard to stop and then restart again. If Dexter would have stopped and taken 6-7 years off and then come back, but you know what it is? It's pacing yourself. It's like running a race. You get in that groove where you're at a pace. If you try to sprint too much, you're going to burn out. Or if you go too slow, you're never going to make it. You know what I mean?
Also made the right decision that he left Florida and he went to Charles Glass. And Charles Glass taught him a whole different new way to train. Train with, stimulate, not annihilate. That's Lee Haney used to say that. He stimulates.
Stimulate.
He doesn't annihilate.
Stimulate. Don't annihilate. Yes.
Some people who don't understand. Ronnie Coleman, God bless his heart, greatest. I love Ronnie. Everybody loves Ronnie. But look what he did to himself, man. Look what he did to himself. I can't even watch the videos of him in rehab or in a wheelchair, or I just can't. And when you go ask Brian, who is the owner of Metroflex, hey, Brian, why, you couldn't say anything to Ronnie or warn him? But Brian's like, what do you say to him? He won 8 Olympias like that. You want him to fucking change his mentality and the way he trains? No.
Brian Dobson. I know.
But
yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, Dexter's smart, man. Dexter definitely took advantage. He knew he still have Dexter, he said something really great the other day on Instagram Live. I was listening to his show, his post, and he said the next time I compete and I don't make the top 5, I'm retiring that night. I'm done. And that's the right way to do it. If he doesn't play,
he said that.
If I don't place in the top 5 at any one of these shows, that's it. I will retire. I'm done. That's it.
Wow. But I mean, not for nothing. His accomplishments, I don't think anybody's ever accomplished. I mean, won more Arnolds, fucking more shows. I mean, he's won more pro shows than anybody, right?
I think if Levrone would have continued, Kevin could have done the same thing because he's another genetic fucking marvel. Evan is another one of those guys who'll take 6 months off, drink, won't touch a weight, and then he'll train for 2 weeks and he'll look like a pro bodybuilder again. It's amazing.
Kev, King, I'm friends with Kevin. Dude, that guy is amazing. You know that he's so intense that he'll sleep on a wood floor and he'll actually throw guns and knives on them because he wants to get in this I'm in a war mentality. He actually forces himself to suffer. Suffering is good to Kevin Levrone. That's a fucking true story, He don't give a shit. He thinks he's going to war. So he sleeps on a floor. He feels like I shouldn't be comfortable. I need to stay hungry. I need to stay vicious. That's true. You can ask us. He's an amazing guy.
His mentality, man, because that's the way I was taught to do it. That's the way. I mean, listen, I would be suffering, unbelievably suffering, and to the point where I would just my hands would be shaking from the cleanse. I'd be sitting down. I can't spit because I would call Chad. I would try to get something. And you know what he would do? He would say, keep doing what you're doing. Ronnie's doing the same. He wouldn't even say, good luck, or come on, King. Just like, don't be a pussy. Keep doing what you're doing. And it was that mentality that stuck with me. You got to fucking suffer. Your eyes have to roll back in your head. I told the story of the 2001 Mr. Olympia when I did a comparison, then I started seeing black dots coming at me as I'm standing in the lineup, and I knew I was about to fucking pass out. So thank God Rope Man was there and he saw my eyes rolling back and told me to walk off stage. But it's that, to fight the badge of honor that I fought it. I walked off stage, then I passed out. They brought me back, oxygen. I walked back and I finished up my debut Olympia comparisons, prejudging, and came back and cracked the top 10. Yeah. Nowadays, the carb depletion. I can't do. I'm hungry. I need a shot, and I can't do. I'm hungry. I need a shut the fuck up, man. Just suffer. People don't know how to suffer anymore.
You know what they do too? Today with this DMP shit and all these other,
Poison.
they compensate.
Poison.
They compensate.
Yeah,
right?
Fucking poison. They're
Dude, I know a girl that died from DNP, And I know two guys. I don't know if you remember T from Black T, Big T. They used to call him. He died from insulin. You know what I mean? He moved to Pennsylvania. If you know what I'm talking about. If I showed you his picture, you'd probably know what I'm talking about. He died from.
A lot of people have paid the price. A lot of people, man. Art Atwood, Matt Duvall. The list goes on and on and on and on, man. It's sad.
Oh yeah,
it's sad.
Even a guy that won, what's that guy that won the Masters Olympia? I mean, you could see. I mean, he looked like he was holding his breath the whole time. Youngblood. Was he Youngblood? Yeah. Remember him? He looked like that. Just being normal. You knew that. I mean, the veins up in his head and shit, And I mean, he died from all that stuff,
Some name that's going to make you laugh. What about Benny Poda? Remember Benny Poda?
Oh,
he used to hold his breath on stage until his nose started bleeding, and he thought that was a badge of honor.
Benny the Beast Poda. I love that guy.
Yeah. He would hold his most muscular for so long until his nose started to bleed, and then the crowd would go crazy.
Oh, dude, I love it. I remember him. Dude, he was a great showman. He was a great showman. He'd get up there, and he would make the most fucked up faces with the tongue and shit. And I remember that. I think one time he shot blood all over the fucking place. And the crowd was like, ah!
Yeah, it was his thing, man. Make his fucking nose bleed on stage. That was a good old...
Oh, my God. It was those were... See, you don't get guys like, that... I know that sounds fucked up to some of these people, but these guys all had flavor. Today, these guys are, it's so chemical today with all this, like I said, with the DNP and all these, there's so much new drugs. Dude, I was a fucking drug dealer. I didn't even know what the half this shit is today, right?
Nowadays, it's the peptide era too, my friend. Everybody's experimenting with peptides, and it's, hold on, this kid keeps asking me questions. Who won the 2001 Olympia? Ronnie won. He's like, should have.
That's
won.
Christian.
Jay was great, but Ronnie was better that night. He was still better that night. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right now, peptides, Greg. Peptides is the thing out there. I mean, I have a lot of clients right now. You can order it online. It's legal. Anybody can get it right now. And there's a bunch of stuff out there that's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I've seen them work on, especially the bikini girls. When they respond like this because they're not taking anything. So when you give them like a little bit of peptides, you see exactly what happens. So yeah, it's the peptide era right now, man.
Oh yeah, dude. There's peptides. I'm friends with Tony Hughes, and there's peptides that make you fall asleep like that. Then there's that PT 141 and shit that can works better than Viagra.
141 is a female Viagra too, man.
But the guys take it too. I have friends that are on that shit. They swear to God that their shit is like 24 hours. It's like crazy. You know what I mean? My friend was like, he's like, I fucked my wife 3 times, then I had to jerk off. I'm like, God bless you. You know what I mean?
Man. Yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, no, you're right. There's peptides for everything. So, one guy was telling me that I got to talk to Palumbo about this because he was telling me that Dave told him there's a peptide that make your fucking dick even grow. You know
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't need it, but at this point in the game, fucking, the one that makes you hard though, I can use that. So
yeah.
Anyway, but
I'm looking at the questions, and a lot of the questions are about juice. What's the best? What makes you what's the best steroid? Listen, guys, and I think I say this to people, and people they think that I'm joking, but they gotta understand, it's food. That's the key. It's the food. Look at Jay Cutler. If you go ask Cutler, if you ask Dexter, if you ask all these guys, it's the food. You have no life as a bodybuilder. You live like a monk. You cook your food, you eat it, you rest, and it's time to cook your food and eat again. then it's time to cook your food and eat it. It's all it is, man. It's food, 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 food. That's the lifestyle of the bodybuilder. If you want to be a bodybuilder, you want to get huge, you want to take yourself to the next level. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say that drugs don't have a lot to do with it. Of course they do. But the difference between the guy who's local and the guy who goes to the pros is the food, is the ability to live like a monk and eat 8 or 9 times a day.
Guys, he's right. Because what King's trying to say is you could sit here and take tons of steroids and eat shit and you're not going to grow. Because just like that's where everybody makes jokes when I did this one fucking thing, I think, with Generation Iron. But what, you can't build a house if you fucking, I don't care how great, you can get the greatest fucking builder on the planet. He's going to need the materials to build the house. If you give him fucking styrofoam, he can't build a house with that shit. So when you eat shit, I don't care how much steroids, you can take boatloads. You can inject with a fucking turkey baster steroids, and you're not going to fucking grow because there's nothing to build. Your body's going to say, okay, I got the blueprint here, but where's the material?
Yeah, when I meet these new clients, they contact me, whatever, the first thing I ask them is, are you close with your butcher? Do you know who the butcher is near your town? You should, because that's the person that you need to go become friends with. They're the best pizza meat. It's all about the food. Look at all of Jay's videos on YouTube when he was competing at his peak. Most of the videos are about food, about eating food. Yes, the doses are high. Yes, the doses have increased. Yes, the people are taking more shit. And by the way, another thing about these Kuwait things, okay, yes, they're taking incredible amounts of dosages of stuff, but it's human grade. This is what Fakhri used to always bang into people's heads. It's not that fucking compound pharmacy nonsense that everyone's taking right now. It's not the shit that this guy buys powders from China and makes it in his fucking homemade lab. They're getting human grade shit. That's why they respond the way they respond. And it's also insulin. And there's a company out of Australia called GrowPep. That IGF, and they're having a full statin now that a lot of guys are using. I don't agree with the full statin because you're blocking myostatin. Who knows what the fuck you're doing inside of your body? I guarantee you their kidneys and their the liver is growing too. So I don't agree with that shit. But that's the secret to these Kuwait guys, man. High doses, monks. They live like monks.
That's what I was trying to tell you before. When these guys come out, in Kuwait, they have legitimate shit. They're not coming out, here's test 400. They don't make test
human
400.
grade. It's human grade shit. Like the good old days.
Right,
remember
it's
the good old
grade.
days, Greg? Remember the Sheen, Winstrol, the white milky? Oh, my.
I loved it. I saw it. I went to jail.
Or the Humatrope that used to come in those fucking styrofoam on dry ice. You don't get that shit. Yeah. You get a pack of fucking Chinese red tops and green tops and blue tops. Garbage.
And they've been sitting in some guy's fucking trunk in fucking 90-degree weather. They're dead. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? Or you're buying somebody peeled off the label and put on an HCG and they fucking stick it, But I'm just saying, yeah, I was getting Steris. I got busted with all that Steris. Remember the Steris shit?
Of course I do.
Right. I mean, that shit was pharmaceutical grade. This shit tests 600, and all these other things. I mean, even Tren, that shit is just a knockoff of Parabolin. The real Parabolin that didn't give you the Tren cough where you got a meatball stuck in your throat. You remember that shit?
Cough. I know.
Oh, I don't like Tren, though. You know what I mean? Dude, that can't be good for you. You can't tell me, they call it the 911 drug. You call 911, you're like, I can't breathe. 5 minutes later, you call back, you're like, hey, listen, forget about that call. You know what I mean?
No, believe me, I went through all that. 1 year I got Nabolic. I don't know if you know what Nabolic is, but it had bubbles. It looked like dishwasher fucking liquid, and it had bubbles in. And the guy who I got it from California swore, yeah, it's real, man. I'm telling you, it's better than Winnie. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? Back then, who cared? Fuck it.
Sure.
Fuck it. Who knows? Thank God I survived all that shit, man. Thank fucking God, man.
Do you see, King, did you see that new shit? They have the Helios, which is, Yohimbine. It's not new. It's been out, but Yohimbine and clenbuterol. Dude, I saw I tell everybody this. I was backstage and Dennis Wolf had the most ripped. He had fucking grainy hard abs. I mean, you could see the grain on the muscle. And when he turned around, he had fat on his lower back. I mean, I'm just saying, I remember Vinny Galente was telling me, that's Helios, bro. That's Helios. You know what I mean? Or Helix, however you say it. I don't know. I'm a guinea.
Yeah. How about cardio and carbs? How about that? maybe you should start doing some of that shit, man. Cardio and low carbs. Yeah, I forgot Helios. I know a bunch of girls who did that shit. You know what, man? Anything like that fucks with your heart, I just can't, man. I can't do it. I saw what happened to Dallas, and I felt so bad, man, because I could see it coming a mile away, man. I could just, for some reason, and after like he had that, he almost passed out on stage, and I know that feeling. I was there. I remember that feeling, but the difference was mine was I had no water left in my fucking lungs backstage. I was breathing like this because I suffered to the point where I was that fucking grainy and dry. Not anymore, man. Everything is just not. I can take this and I'll be just as fine. Nobody wants to suffer. Nobody.
No, you're absolutely right. Let me tell you something. Dallas McCarver, a few times when there was a show after he had won a show. He went up to the fucking podium and he blood shot out of his nose and stuff on stage. And supposedly I heard that they found cancer in his autopsy. They found cancer in his thyroid. So he would have eventually he would have had to leave bodybuilding because cancer. I mean, you can't. I'm sorry, but if it wasn't for all these chemicals, he would still probably be alive, and so would Rich and all those other guys. I
blame again the culprit for me for all these things is insulin. It always goes back to insulin. This is why when kids contact me and ask me about insulin, my first and last response is stay away from that stuff, man. It's too much pressure on the heart. It's way too much pressure on the heart.
And that's where these guts are coming from. I've talked about that before.
No. That's where they're saying, "Oh, it's GH, it's G." No, it's not. It's insulin.
It's insulin. And besides insulin, the amount of food you got to double the amount of food. Because back in the old days, even when I could be, you didn't eat carbs. You know what I'm saying? I was, you didn't eat all this. Now you're eating all these carbs and all the fat and all the protein and all that, and you're putting it in your stomach. You stretch the gut alone. And then the insulin, forget it.
Douchebag, dickless, retarded, dick fuck, dick smacks like Louis Marco, who have no fucking idea what they're talking about. They said bubble guts. Look at this bubble gut, and this guy has a bubble gut. I mean, shut the fuck up. You have no idea. Try eating 9 times a day. You know what I'm saying? Try taking insulin and then going and trying to carb up and trying to not get the shakes and all that stuff. They don't fucking understand. They don't understand the basic ABCs of how and what it takes to get to that level of muscularity. Then they go and talk shit before people's backs. Yes, in 2001, 2002, 2003, why did we have our stomach sticking out a little bit? I'll tell you why. Because we didn't have Carbolin, you dickheads. We didn't have Vitargo. This was my protocol for carbing up. Depletion for 4 days. Wednesday, 3 days out, we start to carb up. How do we carb up? 15 units of R, wait 5 minutes. Then I would eat 2 bananas, 2 cups of oatmeal, 10 dates, 4 ounces of potato. I mean, it was ludicrous. And 1 can of pie filling. And you wonder why we were sitting like this with our stomachs out. And I thought it was just me. And then I went to Ronnie's room after the Arnold Classic. He won and I got 4th. I was so happy we were celebrating. I saw him in his room puking and his stomach was out to here. I'm like, what's the matter? He goes, he just can't even look at another banana or pie filling. And I thought it was just me because I used to throw half of my food in the trash can so Chad wouldn't see it. I couldn't eat all that shit. That's what we had. Now what they do, they take 15 units of Humalog. Now it's not Humulin R anymore. Now it's Humalog. And boom, Vitargo. There you go. You're not going to go to hyper. You're not going to start to get the shakes. You fill it out. You're going to be great. And then you go back and eat the beef or chicken and then still keep filling out with the high glycemic carbs. Some people like cream of rice. Some people like sweet potato. That's it. That's why the stomachs are going back down. But it's the insulin. Morons, listen. It's insulin, not GH.
I've been saying it for a long time. They don't want to listen. You know what else, too? That kind of eating that you were talking about also creates gas, which you couldn't even suck in your stomach if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
It was incredibly difficult, man. And the only way we could counteract that is Thursday and Friday, we would go crazy with the food. And then on, Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, we would take the carbs out like around 1 p.m., go bring the vegetables and fiber back in and start doing fiber fucking supplements just so we can shit all that out. And if you couldn't shit it out, if this is again for you kids out there to show you what we used to do, we would be on our hands and knees like fucking homos, sticking a fleet enema up our ass and shoot it up there just so we can get all that food out of our stomach because we were backed up so much. That's what we had to do. Enemas the night before.
Yep. I've done that. I've had to do that. The fleet enema, because it cleans you out. Sometimes your shit is like a rock in there anyway, and you can't go to the bathroom. You get backed up. That's why you hear guys farting backstage. And even the bikini girls.
You know, the worst was Marcus Rule. Jesus Christ. He was a farting machine, man. I love Marcus. By the way, Marcus, I love you, man. But you were stinky, bro. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. Ronnie could throw ass, too, though. But, you'd be I'm backstage with, and it was unbelievable. Even at the Arnold one time, it was really bad. You know what I mean? The guys are back there. But that's because they don't realize that the people out here don't realize. You know what's funny? Most people don't realize that the bodybuilder, when he's standing on stage, is probably at his worst. I mean, condition looking-wise, he looks great. But feeling-wise, nobody smiles on stage. Nobody feels good on stage. Am I right or wrong? You felt like I'm going to die at any moment. I'm either going to win or die.
It's the worst feeling in the world. And what gets you going is, for me personally, I don't know about other people, but for me is, you mentally, you sit there and say, I killed myself. I sacrificed my relationship. I've sacrificed my friends, my life. I did everything. I lived like a monk to get to this point. Fuck it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. Nothing's going to stop me. And that's why, I used to sit here and I was a talker on stage. I would say shit and I would say something to somebody and we would go. Why? Because I was trying to psych myself up to keep going. You're sitting up there in those hot lights, especially the Iron Man. My God, those lights were like you were 120 degrees and you're dying up there. You want to fucking get a little bit psyched up. And everyone used to look at me and say, oh, he's the bad guy. No, man, I was bad up there, but Cutler was a shit talker. Melvin was a fucking master shit talker. Melvin Anthony. Cormier talks shit too up there. It was just something to do. Now it's like, I don't know, man. Greg, I just don't know about bodybuilding right now.
No, it's not the same. But see, you had to do that because when you're like you just said, you were psyching yourself up more than anything else because you knew if you sat down and you took a moment's rest, I'm not getting up. You know what I mean? Because you're on adrenaline. At that point, you're on your own adrenaline.
It's like it is almost identical. It's an identical feeling to a fight. How do you feel right before you get into a fight? It's that adrenaline rush. And your senses become so, acute to what's going on around you. That's how it is when you get up on the stage on an Olympia level or Arnold Classic. And you're looking around and you're like, holy fuck, that's Kevin Levrone. I mean, I just had pictures of him in my fucking locker. I'm like, fuck. And in my first Olympia, I got to call out with Vince Taylor and Marcus Rule. Are you fucking kidding me? I looked down at my dad and my dad was like, he's like, holy shit. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Stay composed. That's fucking Marcus Rule, and that's the legendary Vince Taylor, But you psych yourself up, you go up there and you have a battle, man. It's a war. You got to feel like you're going into a fight.
It's true. Now, King, I got to tell you, we got 1 minute and 20 seconds left. So, I want to tell you, this has been a fucking great conversation. Two guys sitting on a couch talking. I love it, man. And you're a great guy. I always respect you. I had a great time. But now, first of all, I want to offer you, if you want to stop by the Gels booth, we're going to be at the Gels, Muscle Gels, which is Iron Mag Labs. It's in at the Arnold. If you're going to be there,
I'm not going to be there. I have so many things to do over here, but my business partner is going to be there. He works for Generation Iron, so they're all going to be there.
Well, I'm with Generation Iron. Just called me to do they want me to do this talk show, but anyway, they just called me yesterday. But listen, we got now 40 seconds left. What do you want to tell everybody how they can get in touch with you if you're doing trainings or whatever you want?
Contact me through Instagram, and if I don't get right back to you, I eventually will. And I'm not one of those coaches that sits there and says, yeah, just pay me this and that. I want to meet you first. I want to figure out what your goals are. If you come to me and you're a $105 guy who says, I want to turn pro, I can't help you. I can't do that. If you come to me and you say, hey, look, this is my aspirations. I want to start out, get my feet wet. Then we can talk, and I'll take you step by step and teach you. Because I love, transforming people. I get a little kick out of that, man. I get a big kick out of that.
Thank you, King. We have 5 seconds. Thank you, King.
Peace. Love you guys.
I love you.